The best chess move I saw today was played by Wojciech Wrblinski in the Warsaw Chess Festival in Poland. Can you figure out what Black played in this position to secure his winning advantage? Now, it's pretty tricky because most pawn-up rook endgames are actually drawn as long as the king is in reasonable position. And this king on g1 is in a reasonable defending position, and so you have to be pretty alert because if you trade the g4 pawn for the h5 pawn, you might stumble into something that we typically call the Philidor position, and that's an easy theoretical draw. And so Black has to find a way to maintain both the g4 pawn and the f7 pawn, and ultimately have connected passers, but it's not easy because White is threatening to play rook f5 after most moves, attacking the f7 pawn, still defending the h5 pawn, and preventing the Black king from really getting active and challenging that White rook at all on f5. So you gotta be alert here, and it turns out there's only one winning move, and it's the brilliant rook a3. And the point of rook a3 is that it actually stops rook f5. Why, you might ask? Well, if you actually play rook f5 now, Black has rook f3. And I mentioned that pawn-up rook endgames can be drawn in a lot of instances, but the pawn-up king endgames are a different story. And so after rook takes f3, g takes f3, king f2, king takes h5, and king takes f3, this is a winning king-pawn endgame. And as long as your king is 2 squares in front of your pawn, that's how I always thought about it, and you can waste a tempo, when you have opposition, you will win the game. And so you bring this king forward, king g5, you scurry it over to f5, and then you're 2 squares in front of the pawn and can go f6 and secure the win because you have opposition. So because of that dynamic, after rook a3, you actually have rook f3 next, and you actually able to secure both pawns. White wound up playing king g2 instead, but still rook f3 was played, and now the next point of the plan is clear because after rook a5, Black played f5, protecting the pawns, protecting the rook, and now clearing the way for the king to capture on h5 and get those 2 connected pass pawns in a rook endgame. And with this, Black went on to win with really nice technique.